your attention to the atrocities and to the persecution of Christians over in the Middle East. They say ISIS has nothing to do with peaceful Islam. But even in saying that, they know it is Islamophobic. To tell the truth about Islam is not Islamophobic, but truth today is hate speech. What is happening over there is that Yazidi women, young girls, were taken by ISIS, and the Quran says all those who you take by force of arms, they become yours and you can use them as you please. These Yazidi young girls, 150 of them, were brought to a place where they were sold off as slaves to the ISIS commanders. These are atrocities. They were treated that way because they are Christians. You don't see anyone talking about Christian phobia. We talk about people who are Islamophobic, homophobic. These are just buzzwords to close down the truth of the conversation. ISIS stands for domination of the world. It is not going to give way. They call us kafirs. Surah 9:29 says, slay the infidel. It doesn't mean, as some people say, to tap them politely on the back. There are people, 200 million, that are persecuted right now. 13 million have been displaced by ISIS. 13 million people have been driven out of their homes. If you had a sign on your door, which was happening in Mosul, Mosul had a sign called the Nun, which marks them out as people of the Nazarene. They marked them out as Christians, and they were given a choice. Leave your house, convert to Islam, or die. 4 boys were told, convert to Islam, leave your Jesus. We are the ones who have the true religion. They said, no, my Jesus has saved me. My Jesus has delivered me. I am not going to leave him. Those 4 boys had their throats cut. A mother looking for her son who had been abducted. She goes into the ISIS camp and says, I'm looking for my son. They gave her a meal to eat. And what happened then? She said, now help me to find my son. They said, you've just eaten him. This is the barbarism we face today. We've seen the Coptic Christians. We've seen them dressed in their orange garb. We've seen the ISIS people behind them with their knives and how they lay down and they are brought to a place where their throats are cut. And they do it because they will not forsake Jesus Christ. It has never been the case that when Jesus is truth, when Jesus comes into a person's life, you're left with a genuine choice. Not like with Islam. If you leave Islam, as many are doing, they are sick and tired of the ISIS barbarity. They are sick and tired of it, and many in Egypt, in Syria, are leaving Islam at a great rate, a great danger to themselves. In Egypt themselves, there are people there, the many Muslims, who are getting dreams and visions about where to go to get free from this demonic cult, this death cult. And so they get to the point where they are free, and they are right at that moment. Their lives are in danger. That is what we're on about today. Christianity calls for a person to follow Jesus willingly. Islam forces a person to choose between death or converting to Islam. When Muhammad died, most people wanted to leave Islam. But Abu Bakr, he said very simply, you leave, we kill you. If anyone leaves Islam, you are apostate, and your parents, your relatives can kill you. This is the danger. This is what holds some of them into that place. But in Egypt right now, wonderful thing about persecution is that it drives the Christians to their knees. And the Christians themselves have seen mighty miracles. They have cried out to God, 24-hour-a-day prayer meetings, fasting and prayer. They have called out to God, and God has answered their effectual, fervent prayer. They have realised that a God can deliver. It isn't just sitting in a pew on a Sunday. It isn't just getting fed and becoming a fat, spirited Christian. No, the wonder of this is they are seeing Muslims converted to Christianity. As I said before, there is a limit that ISIS can do to inspire recruits. Even the recruits that have been taken off into ISIS overseas, they have wanted to come home. They are tired of the brutality. They are tired of the sickness that is the ideology of Islam. Read it for yourself. Most proclaiming the peaceful Islam rely on people not even reading or knowing about the Quran or the Hadith. There are 15 outlandish comments about women that would never be allowed to be in our democratic society. Do you realise that most of the people in hell, according to the Hadith, are women? Do you realise that their testimony doesn't count? You need 4 men to attest to the rape if they're going to give a testimony. Most of the women that have been raped have not had the 4 testimonies there, so they have been accused of adultery and they have been stoned. This is not right. But people who follow Jesus Christ, they look at the one who died on the cross. But he never stayed dead. He rose from the dead. And because of his resurrection, that gives us confidence. Because he died, we shall live always.
Are you against Islam?
Against it?
Yeah.
I'm against its teachings.
Why?
Why? Have you read it?
I've read it. Yeah.
Read it?
Yeah.
Okay. You
What's
know the
against
position
about
of
it?
women?
Yeah.
John,
It's by choice.
Surah 430. No, it's not by choice.
Okay, show me
What about
something.
ISIS? What about ISIS?
ISIS, they take the misreadings of it.
Ah, so you tell me the correct readings. Surah 929.
Alright,
Show me Surah 929.
I don't carry Quran with me. What do you think
No,
this is?
I do.
Alright, show me.
Say Surah.
Alright, show me.
But there's many. Many.
Now what does make Christianity okay? If they fuck up people too, Islam, what does
I
it make
don't
you
use
perfect?
those words. God cleaned up my heart, so I don't use words like that.
What swearing, profanity is?
That's it.
Swearing.
No, well, you can use it, but I don't have to accept that sort of language.
You don't have to accept your ways.
Well, you don't, do you? But you asked me where it says. Would you agree? Would you agree with this? That in the Surah 929.
You know that Hitler was Catholic. You know Hitler was Catholic as well. He doesn't make any things he did with
Hitler
right.
was a demon possessed.
See?
He was. He went and used astrology. You laugh.
Give me strength.
Stand against bigotry and fascism.
Bigotry. How about you don't stand against truth?
Against racism.
Here when you learn not to be a dumb fuck.
What was that?
Rally against racism.
Surah 929, have a look. I've got the Quran. I've got the Quran here.